All right, today we're jumping into a really interesting case study out of Tokyo. It's a wellness clinic that's completely redefining treatment, and it's attracting everyone from elite Olympic athletes to people who had pretty much given up hope. So what makes their approach so different? Let's dive in.
First, let me ask you something. You know that nagging pain that just will not go away? You try resting it, you try massage, but you always end up back at square one. It feels like a total dead end. Well, that exact frustration is what this clinic in Tokyo is focused on solving, and they're doing it with a radically different mindset. So, who is the expert behind a clinic like this? To really get their method, we first have to understand the incredible experience and training that makes it all possible.
Just try to wrap your head around the sheer volume of experience here. In his Tokyo clinic, one single practitioner has personally treated over 100,000 patients. That number is just staggering.
And look, you don't get to a number like that overnight. That comes from more than 20 years of dedicated, hands-on clinical practice, spent perfecting a very specific and pretty unique method. And to really put that expertise into perspective, get this. He's one of only about 100 practitioners in all of Japan whose training meets the super rigorous World Health Organization standard for chiropractic care. Right away, that tells you we're talking about a totally different league. This qualification right here is the foundation for everything. A U.S. standard Doctor of Chiropractic degree isn't just about adjusting things. It's a graduate-level education. We're talking deep training in neurology, anatomy, and even how to read diagnostic images like X-rays. That scientific, data-first approach is the key to his entire method. So all that training leads to the clinic's core philosophy. And this is where we see the biggest break from the kind of treatment most of us are used to.
Okay, on the left, you've got the familiar approach, right? Symptomatic relief. Your shoulder hurts, so you rub the shoulder, it feels better for a little while, but the pain just comes right back. On the right is this clinic's whole philosophy, what they call fundamental therapy. The goal here isn't to chase the pain around. It's to find and correct the root cause through the nervous system, aiming for real, lasting change.
And their mission statement, man, it just says it all. To bring smiles to those who clench their teeth. Think about that. That's not just about a sore jaw. Clenching your teeth is a physical symptom of deep, constant stress. And that is the state of being this therapy is really trying to resolve.
So how in the world do they do it? Well, the science behind it is something called neuroplasticity. The basic idea is that your brain can literally rewire itself. The clinic's incredibly gentle adjustments are designed to send very specific signals through the nervous system, which basically prompts the brain to reorganize and fix the faulty communication with the body. You can think of it like hitting a reset button on bad habits the body has learned.
Okay, so if you're going to reset the entire system, you can't just poke around anywhere. You have to go straight to the main controls. So where exactly does this therapy focus its attention? The therapy zeroes in on two critical spots that might actually surprise you, the very top of the neck and the jaw. Now, why there? Because this area is basically the body's main junction box. It's the critical point where the brain's signals have to travel to get to the rest of the body. Their entire premise is that even a tiny misalignment right here can create major chaos somewhere else entirely. And I want to be clear, this is not guesswork. Before a single adjustment is made, they perform a thorough diagnosis. They use neurological tests to check for things like joint stability and muscle weakness. And if needed, they'll even work with partner clinics to get CT scans or X-rays to get a precise, data-driven picture of what needs to be fixed. Okay, so what does the actual treatment plan look like for someone who walks in the door? It's not a one-and-done session. It's a very structured program.
The program is called the Six-Sided Approach, and it's basically a 6-session journey to systematically realign the whole body. It's structured just like building a house. You have to start with the foundation, right? So they begin with the lumbar area and pelvis, then move up to the back and ribs, then the neck and shoulders, and finally integrate the legs and jaw. Each session logically builds on the last one, creating a totally integrated result.
And what's really smart about this is that it avoids that therapy in a rut feeling. You aren't just getting the same old routine every single week. Instead, each session is a completely different approach, tackling the body from a new angle to make the path to recovery more dynamic and way more efficient.
Now, if the word adjustment makes you think of some kind of forceful, painful cracking, the reality here is going to shock you. The treatments are described as completely painless and incredibly soft. In fact, the clinic says the touch is so gentle that even an infant can laugh through it. Just think about that. A profound result from an unbelievably subtle technique.
A unique method is one thing, but what about the outcomes? Let's look at the proof, because the results, from patient stories to a very impressive client list, really do speak for themselves.
Here's a quote from one patient who had tried clinics all over the world: London, the US, Japan. They described the feeling like this: something fit back into its original mold, and the constant pain disappeared. They finished by saying it was simply the best I have found. I mean, that's powerful stuff.
And results like that have attracted an absolutely incredible list of clients. People whose entire careers depend on their bodies functioning perfectly. We are talking about Olympic and Paralympic athletes, top-ranked UFC fighters, professional soccer players from Japan's J-League, and even international teams. When people at that elite level put their trust in you, it says everything.
Naturally, that level of trust hasn't gone unnoticed. The practitioner has been sought out as a go-to expert on the body by some of Japan's biggest media outlets, from the national broadcaster NHK to major TV networks and leading health magazines like Tarzan.
In the end, everything we've looked at today comes back to one core belief: the deep, undeniable connection between body, mind, and spirit. The clinic's philosophy is that by precisely addressing the physical root of tension, you can bring the entire system, not just one sore spot, back into a state of natural, easy balance. And that leaves us with a final thought. After seeing an approach that focuses on the nervous system's control center instead of chasing the site of pain, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if the real key to your own well-being isn't where you've been looking at all?